Good morning, students. Let me see in this period the topic from English novel, Rise of the English Novel. I would like to introduce you English novel. Let me see at first what is novel. Novel is a prose fiction today. But if we try to trace its ancestry, we have different meanings and definitions of novel. If we trace the ancestry, we have to go back into the age of Shakespeare, Elizabethan age, where Robert Greene, Thomas Lodge, John Lyly have written the tales, the narratives, but in proper manner and balanced form of this English novel was not produced by them. So it is called that this English novel was really with the hands of Richardson, Henry Fielding, Smollett and Sterne. There was the rise of English novel. So this English novel in the proper sense with its proper elements started in the 18th century. This English novel is a form of literature, as there are other forms of literature like drama, poetry, prose, short story, one-act play. Similarly, novel is the form of literature. Literature is the mirror of the society, in which mirror there is the reflection of the society, its manners, its different issues, and these issues are really giving us the specific level of that period. So through this English novel form, we will come to understand what type of the English society was and is in the past and in the present. So there are different elements which are properly used. These elements you have studied last year actually, and these elements like storyline or its theme, its plot construction, its conflict, its dialogue, its setting, its philosophy of the life. Along with these all elements, there is a proper formation of sizable novel. Sizable novel. Its length, it is also considered seriously. Such type of the novel is written in the 18th century, but before it, the writers like Daniel Defoe, Jonathan Swift, Edison, Steele, even John Bunyan, who have contributed in the writing of the narratives or the novels. But these were not called actually the novel, or it is not called as they are the real progenitor of the novel. But they have paved the way for the English novel, and it is in the 18th century with the novelists like Richardson, Fielding, Smollett, Sterne, there was the rise of the English novel. Why in the 18th century this rise of the English novel? Because there was the decline of drama. Cromwell who closed the theatres, and hence there was no performance, and drama is written to perform. Novel is written to be read, but drama for the performance only. So if the theatres were closed, so naturally there was no performance, and slowly there was the decline of drama. And as on the one hand there is the decline of drama, on the another hand there is the rise of the English novel. So decline of drama is a responsible factor for the rise of the English novel. Periodical essays. Essays by Edison Steele, who have contributed, even Jonathan Swift also, who have given this type of the form of the literature, and this periodical essay paved the way for the rise of the novel. Comparatively, novel was cheap because of the general education given or provided to the society, and the publishers who were really available more than earlier time, and hence the publication was there. So there was the cheapness and it was profitable for the readers. So the readers number that was increased because of this cheapness. Expansion of reading public. From aristocratic society, earliest the readers were reading, but in the 18th century, this expansion of the reading that was by the middle class, lower middle class, and even the lower class, and they read the novels. So slowly there is a development of the English novel, and hence expansion of the reading public becomes the responsible factor for rise of the English novel. Women enjoyed reading the novel in the 18th century because even today women have no role in the business of their spouse or companions or even the family members. Even there is no gender equality. Similarly, it was not in the past in the 18th century also. The women from the aristocratic society and higher middle class society, they have the leisure, the spare time. They enjoyed it in the reading, and they read the English novels. So women enjoyed reading novel. That's why there is a novel which was really flourished. Patrons of literature who were changed during this time. Earlier, the kings and the queens were the patrons of the literature, and hence we can see even in the Shakespeare's dramas where there are the characters from that type of, that is the kings and the queens and the prince and the princess, like this. But in the 18th century, the patrons of the literature were changed. The booksellers or other editors who turned the publishers, and they were responsible for their role being the patron. So patron of literature which were increased, and so it was easy for the novel and its publication. There was a democratic movement which is responsible for the rise of the English novel. The novelists like Samuel Richardson, Henry Fielding, Smollett and Sterne, who contributed to the English novel and its rise and the development. Samuel Richardson's Pamela and Clarissa, the ideal models of English novel, came out in 1740s and 1740 and 1748, which were epistolary in the form, and they have laid the foundation for the English novel. Similarly, Henry Fielding, who had written Tom Jones, Joseph Andrews, Amelia, and contributed to the English novel, and English novel was flourished. Joseph Andrews by Henry Fielding is the parody of Pamela written by Richardson. So not only the women but the men are also the virtuous like Pamela. Smollett's Roderick Random, Humphrey Clinker and Peregrine Pickle are the well-known novels which are stepping stones for the development of the English novel. Sterne's Tristram Shandy, the sentimental journey through France and Italy, just two novels which are contributed to the English novel, and these are also the stepping stones for the development of the English novel. This development of the English novel in the 17th century, 18th century, 19th century and 20th and also 21st century, if we look into detail, we will conclude that there was a clear rise of the English novel in the 18th century. Earlier in the 17th century or 16th century it was written, but not in the proper manner and the proper way. So the rise of the English novel that had taken place in the 18th century and it is flourished in the 19th century. So it was the golden period for the development of the English novel. It was continued and even it is continued till the 21st century. So this is the rise of the English novel. With these words I would like to conclude and thank you.